Test one, two, test. Pineapple. Pineapple. All right, how's it sound?
Perfect.
Perfect pineapple. All right. Ready when you are, sir.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
We have no idea. We're exploring leads for individuals out of state and individuals that live close by. We literally have persons of interest, tips coming in on the tip line that are spanning far and wide.
All right, so this is a quick update before the actual show we recorded. We recorded last night until 2 in the morning, full of wild speculation about the potential shooter in Charlie Kirk, and is he this, is he that? Finished late, went to bed, woke up, and turns out they caught the shooter. So I'm still going to post the episode, but I wanted to put this in there first. They apprehended 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. I said, and my speculation was that this guy's not going to fit neatly into any box. People want him to be a full left or full right. He seems a lot like the kid that shot at Trump in Pennsylvania, where he's from a Republican household. This kid seems like he was raised in a good family. They were either Christian, conservative, or Mormon. I keep seeing both. A lot of Facebook pictures from his mom. They seem good. They were a gun family. A lot of pictures of him from a young age with guns. Him and his dad did a lot of hunting. He knew how to shoot. Smart kid. He had a 4.0 GPA, got a scholarship to college. Supposedly, I don't know if this is true or not, supposedly donated $248 to Trump's 2020 re-election campaign. And I keep seeing paperwork on that, but it could easily be fake. His dad was a sheriff's deputy and a minister. So anyhow, his parents are both registered Republicans. He is registered unaffiliated. The left, what's funny is both sides are trying to come out right away and show that, I was right. It was the other side. It's very annoying. He's kind of doesn't fit into a box. The inscription on his bullets, this is interesting. The 4 bullets, one of them, they're all like memes from the gaming world. One of them says, "Notice his bulge, OWO. What is this?" It's from a meme. Hey, fascist, catch. Up, right, down, down, down. That's a Groiper meme, apparently. I don't know what Groiper is. I just had to look it up. I'll talk about that in a second. Belle Ciao is an anti-fascist thing, but that's also from this video game. And if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. Those are what the 4 bullets said. This is all from a game called Helldivers 2. Never heard of it in my life. The left is trying to say he's a Groiper, which is like Nick Fuentes' group. They're alt-right, white nationalist, and Christian nationalist. I don't know if I buy that. According to what the FBI said, his friends and family were saying that he was upset because he thought that Charlie Kirk was spreading hate and hurting America. Doesn't seem to fit with him being an alt-right white nationalist, but I don't know. The right is saying that, well, he was raised in a good Republican family, but then he went to college in 2021, I think, and college radicalized him to be a crazy liberal Democrat. So I think that a lot of what's flying around online right now probably is going to turn out to not be true, but I also still think like it's gonna be a mixed bag. Like if you want him to be all left or all right, you're not going to get that, I think. But anyhow, this is the rest of our show.
Hello, Andy.
What's going on, man?
Not much. I kind of want to start this off by saying, and I never thought I would ever say this because I kind of really respect this guy and I like this guy, but fuck Jerry Seinfeld.
What did Jerry Seinfeld do?
Dude, he has just been recorded speaking to a large audience saying that if you are saying free Palestine,
Yeah.
you are basically equivalent to the KKK.
So, I mean, he is I don't know if he's a Jewish Zionist. I'm trying to see if I can find anything of this. Just say you don't like the Jews. By saying free Palestine, you're admitting what you really think. So it's actually compared to the Ku Klux Klan. I'm actually thinking the Klan is actually a little better here because they come right
So
out
the
and
Klan's better.
say, we don't like blacks. We don't like Jews. Okay, that's honest. That's his quote. I mean, I hate to say like I kind of figured, but I mean he's Jewish and I'm gonna guess
Yeah,
probably
but you
very
can't watch these videos of these children starving like bones and or the children being burnt. I just saw
yeah.
a video of
So
children like you can't watch that and say like Israel's in the right.
I was talking about exactly this 3 hours ago at soccer practice with one of the dads, and I was just telling him I was like, for me, it's unbelievable that anybody could be silent about what's happening in Gaza right now, but then he totally agreed with this because he's in this bubble. But I was like, but like people on the right are not seeing the images I'm seeing. Like when I tell them that there's a genocide in Gaza, they think I'm full of it because they haven't seen anything about this. And he admitted, he was like, yeah, he's like, I don't see any of this. I was explaining the different pictures and videos I see on a daily basis, and had no clue. So I think it's what it comes down to is there's an information silo. We talk about this all the time, but there's the left
Yeah.
bubble and the right bubble. And right now, if you're in the right wing media ecosystem, I don't know what to call it, like you're not seeing any of that stuff concerning war crimes or atrocities committed by Israel.
And for a while there, I was really like, I was getting that. I was watching them and I was looking at them and I was probably seeking them a little bit.
Mhm.
And I noticed that it was like after 10 o'clock at night, that's when all that stuff came in. Like during the day, I would get none of it, but
Yeah.
after 10 o'clock at night, that's when all the like babies starving, children dying,
You're
all
saying
the bullshit.
on Twitter or on Instagram or on like where you
Mostly
see this?
Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly on Instagram.
Okay.
That's where I was looking at. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they were filtering it in to my nightly news schedule as opposed to during the day.
Yeah. I don't know. A guy I know recently went on Twitter and just started liking pictures of bird. He found like bird watchers, like he hashtag bird watching or something, and he
Mm-hmm.
liked like 15 pictures of birds. And he said
Uh-huh.
his whole algorithm changed immediately. And like now when he opens it up, like he sees birds and nothing but birds. And he was like, it's
Yeah.
actually quite wonderful. He said he's not seeing any of the shit posting. And I was like, all right, there's a part of me that really wants to do that. Uh,
Hmm.
anyhow, um.
Well, yeah, we started this because we need to talk about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, so there's so many updates. First of all, responsible reporting here. I'm glad I had to go back and listen, but I said alleged shooter every time I said anything about this guy. But we showed a video of a guy yesterday. Man, it was only yesterday this happened, but it feels like it's been 3 days. But on Wednesday when the shooting happened, we showed a video of an old guy that they had in custody. And in my defense, the FBI director, Kash Patel, had tweeted out that they had the shooter in custody. So everybody thought that was him. Okay.
Yeah, and I want to say something about this. Like, can we trust the FBI anymore under Kash Patel?
It's not just the FBI. Hold that thought for just a second.
Okay.
We'll get there, okay? Um, but so that guy they ended up charging him with obstruction of justice because basically when they thought, okay, we got him, like apparently they stopped looking for a little bit and then they realized it wasn't him, and in that time the shooter got away. But again,
Hmm.
you got the FBI director tweeting out that they got him. He actually did that twice on the day of the shooting, where he tweeted, "We have a suspect in custody," and then an hour later had to come out and say, like, "Up, never mind, we don't. We're still looking." Which is the FBI director supposed to be live tweeting an investigation
No,
or a manhunt? Like, no.
no,
In fact, the FBI famously doesn't comment on anything until they have somebody in custody, and like they might
100%.
they'll give some press conferences at night, but they won't say a whole lot. They don't want to let you know what they know, and they don't want to let the person on the run know what they know.
Yep.
Um, I'm not trying to hate on anything. It's hard not to, but like Kash Patel has no business being the head of the FBI, and if
Oh,
they put him
110%. Yes.
if they put him there and then they say, okay, because he doesn't have FBI experience, let's put a real strong deputy FBI director under him, then that might make sense. But they put Dan Bongino under him, which Dan Bongino, he was in the Secret Service, but then he was a podcast host for the last couple of years. And like, he wasn't the leader of the Secret Service. He was one of the bodyguards. Its job it is to take a bullet for the president. Like, it's not something that transfers easily to FBI director. But anyhow, so
And I can only imagine that if you're in the FBI, you're smarter than to take a bullet for somebody else.
no, I mean, I believe the Secret Service, I mean, will do it if those guys are trained to. They believe in that. That's their job is to jump in front of the president. FBI agents are
Yeah.
not trained to
It takes
jump
a
in
certain
front of.
type of person to do that.
True, true. So, but again, the kind of person that would jump in front of someone and take a bullet is not always like that's not a transferable skill to be like, oh, you can lead an entire agency and be the head of the
No,
FBI. No, that's not
no.
transferable. So, um, oh man, so speaking of this, do you remember who? So real quick, Kash Patel is the head of the FBI. Do you remember who the leader of? He's the head of counterterrorism and threat prevention for HHS. Do you remember who this is?
Dr. Oz?
Nope. Head of counterterrorism and threat prevention at the HHS. I'll give you some hints. He's 22 years old.
At Health. Oh,
He
the
was a
22-year-old
grocery
guy.
store
Yeah,
clerk. So
Not the HHS.
No, shit.
The
HHS,
federal.
HHS is Robert Kennedy, right?
Yeah.
Homeland Security. He's the head of counterterrorism and threat prevention for Homeland Security. Anyhow, Thomas Fugate and Kash Patel are the two top-ranking people to deal with this exact type situation, and that's
Look at this photo. And this is
that's the funniest photo. Like we're talking about a bad thing here. Kirk got assassinated. That's bad. But like that picture of Thomas Fugate is borderline hysterical. Like he looks like a Marvel villain. Like if you were going to draw a comic book villain, that's the guy right there.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we had a press briefing earlier this morning. Did you see anything in this press briefing?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we have it.
Yeah, I've been busy all day.
We have a suspect. I sent you a picture of it. It's not a bad quality picture. Like everything we were hearing leading up to this was that they had no leads and they came out the night before and said like, "Hey, there are security cameras, but like it's terrible quality." Like these aren't bad pictures. Like you can kind of get him. I mean, he's wearing glasses and a hat, but you can kind of get a make on this guy. Like by my thoughts, if this is the guy, now they keep calling him a person of interest. They very carefully are not calling him the suspect, but it appears a lot of the arrows are pointing in this guy's direction.
They did not see him shoot the gun, right?
They didn't. They saw he was the only person that went up to the roof. And there's also a video they just released tonight of him running across the roof and jumping down. He like did the thing where he went over the side and held on with his hands and then let go and fell like 10 to 13 feet, I'm going to guess, to the ground. Interestingly, he did not, that I could see, he did not have a gun when he was running across the roof and jumped off. He had his backpack, but then they announced this morning that they found the gun in the woods. And it's like, well, I didn't see it when he jumped off the roof. And also, it seemed almost too obvious. Like the gun was like laying out. There's a lot of people are thinking that this is like a frame job, and like,
Oh,
anyhow,
100%. Didn't you told me that there was a plane that like just after 20
yeah.
minutes after the shooting took off
So
and then 20 minutes after that turned off all their signals, which is completely illegal.
I saw this last night, and I told you about it. And I remember at the time I told you this could be bullshit. Like I'm seeing a lot of stuff, and you don't know what to believe and what not to. But I sent you this also. Um, Alex Jones talked about it today. Candace Owens talked about it today. There's an article right here. FBI under pressure over open airport 5 miles from Charlie Kirk assassination hit as private jet vanishes after shooting. So it sounds like that was a thing that actually happened. Like, okay, so that happened. They also, right around the time, I think it was right before the news conference this morning. Do you know who Steven Crowder is? He's a right
Hmm.
wing. So Steven
Yeah.
Crowder comes out and says that he
I
just
get
got.
them too. I get Charlie Kirk and Steven Crowder confused
They both
sometimes.
do the thing where they're like kind of set up a table and they're like debate me.
Yeah.
Like that's both of
Yeah.
them do that. But Steven Crowder came out and said that he just got a leak from like FBI or DOJ that they found the gun. There were three unused bullets in the gun, and then the casing from the first bullet was still in there because it's a bolt action, so he never ejected the casing. And on each of them, there were like chiseled in or like words somehow on it that were pro-trans and anti-fascist like terminology. So like immediately everybody's like, we knew it was a trans person. Like this was going on. Like 4 hours later, or actually, real quick, Crowder also posted a picture that he had gotten it was like a picture of a computer screen, and it was the DOJ teams, like where they send messages and whatnot. So somebody snapshotted their computer and sent that to Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder got a subpoena this afternoon for his company because of that's leaking classified info. So he posted the subpoena that he got on Twitter. Anyhow, the Wall Street Journal picks this up and runs with it and says, "Hey, looks like it was a trans shooter, pro-trans, pro-Antifa." A couple hours later, the FBI comes out and says, "No, like that's not at all." All fast.
Okay, so who in the FBI? Because I don't trust the FBI. This is the thing.
Well,
I don't trust Cash Patel and Big Balls' son here.
Well, fast forward to tonight, and what happened was on the bottom of a cartridge, there's like normally either some letters or a symbol, and it's a couple different things. One of it is like just identifying the manufacturer, but this
Hmm.
gun had an arrow, which is I can't remember what brand it is, and then like TN, I think is what it says, something along those
Uh-huh.
lines. And An FBI agent who I guess has never looked at the bottom of a bullet saw that and was like, "Oh, the arrow must mean trans, TN, trans," and that's what they ran with. So
That's a dumb FBI agent,
it's
a
a
really dumb
basic
FBI agent.
basic level of incompetence right there. So everybody's making fun of them for that at the moment. Anyhow, so it turns out we have no real.
Well,
We
here you go. Here, let me
okay.
just. This is the thing that really uh gets to me is that we had a school shooting where there was a child who 2 months before that and continuing through before he did a school shooting was talking about how he's going to do a school shooting.
Was this the one yesterday, the same day, or was this the
No, this
Catholic
was in
school one?
Minnesota, I believe. This was a
That was
couple
that
months
was
ago in Minnesota,
that was the
and
Catholic school one.
this was exactly the same time they took 1,000 FBI agents to comb through the Jeffrey Epstein documents.
They also removed, I think it was 5 weeks ago, they removed the special agent in charge for that district. It covers part of Utah, Wyoming, and Idaho. They're based out of Salt Lake. It's the head FBI agent for that area. And they had appointed this woman when Trump took office, and then they removed her 5 weeks ago and never said why. Like she did something to make them mad, and they removed her. So there's been and like her lieutenant is in charge right now, but there's not an acting special agent in charge for the FBI for that field office.
We
So
cannot trust our FBI to do anything at this point.
yeah. Also, Cash is getting sued for one of the people who fired suing him, and they said that he's wasting most of his time trying to make a challenge coin, I believe. That's the Cash challenge coin, and he's apparently spending a lot of time focusing on that.
This was the guy who was like second in charge or something.
No, this is Cash. This is the head of the FBI.
Right. No, no,
Uh,
no. But the guy who's suing him it was like pretty
he
far up there in
he
the.
was like the head of something, head of counterintelligence or domestic terrorism, or he was the head of something, and they fired him, and he's suing. But
Yeah.
so anyhow,
Uh,
backing up after the first preference press conference comes out, they say we've got this suspect or person of interest. They give us a picture, and then they say the next press conference is going to be at like 2:30 or 3, something like that. Right before the press conference, they say that they're delaying this press conference because of rapid development. So everybody starts thinking like, oh, they must have the shooter. Then it comes out Kash Patel is flying from DC to Utah to be part of the press conference. So it appears they just delayed the press conference long enough and it was Cash and Dan Bongino. So they both showed up tonight. They finally had the press conference. They both stood on stage and never said a word. Cash just sat there looking confused. Um, at the press conference tonight, no new details. Like they're not telling us much. Afterward, this guy, I think he was he's like the head of public safety or something like that for Utah. He was standing on stage at the press conference, but he gives an interview to MSNBC, and I have a video for you real quick of this.
I know you can't say too much here, but is it your understanding that this individual may be close by or still in Utah?
We have no idea. We're exploring leads for individuals out of state and individuals that live close by. We literally have persons of interest, tips coming in on the tip line that are spanning far and wide.
Nothing. No information. I don't trust the FBI at all at this point.
First thing out of his mouth, we have no idea. We have no idea. We're chasing down leads out of state, in state. It's been 36, 40 hours, something like that, and they don't have much. They got a picture of a potential person. They haven't gotten any leads to who that is. If that person, I hate to be acting like I know what I'm talking about here, but like it seems like the person I want to use the word professional, but it's at least someone who's smart, someone who planned it out well, can make a shot. Can we talk real quick about the shot?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It was
Okay.
right in the neck. Right in the fucking neck.
Well, I'm seeing people online. There's some people that are saying, "Hey, I shoot guns all the time, and 200 yards is a heck of a shot." Like this person knew what they were doing. But then I'm also seeing people that are like, "I was a Navy SEAL sniper, and let me tell you, anybody with 2 days practice and the right rifle, anybody could make that shot."
Hold on. If you're a deer hunter, 200 yards isn't that bad. You just have to have a good scope, right? And if there's wind, you have to adjust for the wind. That's
15
the challenge.
there was
That's the challenging part is adjusting for the wind.
15-mile-an-hour wind at 200 yards out,
Mm-hmm.
firing a 30-06, which is a big old bullet.
I believe it is your stepdad that told us to shoot a deer in the neck.
So, and that's there. We're going to talk about my blue and on conspiracy in a minute, but there's one country right now that is like making a sport out of shooting people in the neck. Because apparently, like you shoot somebody in the neck, like you're going to hit a windpipe or an artery pretty much
Yeah,
always.
it's
And
done.
Israel's gotten really good at doing that in Gaza. Now, a lot of people are making the argument that he was probably aiming for the head and missed it at the neck. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know. But the way that he got away, the way that he got up there without, I don't know. A lot about it seems like I don't. The word professional might be strong, but like it was somebody who took a lot more precaution than other shooters. A lot of shooters make a plan of how to make the shot and don't plan an escape because they assume they're going to get gunned down right away. Like this guy planned an escape.
Yeah. I mean, I think that like I would never do this at all, but if I was going to do something like this, yeah, I would want to escape. I would have an escape. I would have an entire plan set in place, but I'm not a professional. And I
Yeah,
think that like it would take a professional to actually get out. And then the fact that there's a plane that cut off
that's
communication, let's but I don't know why would they leave the gun in the woods? And if the gun is in the woods, then there should be fingerprints all over the gun. And if there's fingerprints all over the gun, then we know exactly who it is. Like
what that's the confusing part again, though, is when they show him running across the roof and jumping down. It looks like he's just got a backpack. You don't see a gun anywhere, so that would mean he broke the gun down, put it in the bag, and took off.
yeah,
But then he stopped in the woods and put it back together and left it neatly for someone to find. Like that,
I think
all
that's
of that
bullshit.
doesn't make sense. And
I think that's all bullshit.
yeah, well, and also, and I'm not good enough to know this, but people were pointing out that the way the scope was mounted was wrong. The scope was way too far back, and if you were laying in a prone position, like it almost wouldn't have worked. Like you'd have a
But here's
black
the
eye.
thing, why would the FBI plant a weird gun?
I'm not saying the FBI planted it. I don't think I really that never even entered my mind. The FBI would do it.
Oh. Oh, but it could be the
If you're
shooter
trying,
planted a strange gun.
yeah, if you're say the shooter is trying to plant disinformation around,
But
plant.
wouldn't he put somebody else's fingerprints on it just to
Yeah, you'd steal it from somebody's house so it has all their fingerprints on it, and then the police
so then we would
eventually.
know whose fingerprints are on there already?
I'm saying that's tomorrow. The police might raid a house that whoever bought that gun. We don't know if there's a serial number or not on. I'm assuming there's not. But
We don't.
tomorrow they might raid a house and it'll be some unsuspecting guy that's like, yeah, that gun was stolen from me 6 months ago. We don't. I don't know.
This administration is so untrustworthy that we can't trust that they're going to arrest the right person.
Yeah, and like I said, I got a blue and on conspiracy coming up. But there's
It's weird.
part of my conspiracy would be that there's gonna be a Patsy at some point. There's gonna be an Oswald, and I'm reckless conspiracy theorying, but we're gonna talk about that in a minute. One thing I want to play for you just to upset you. After the Steven Crowder and then the Wall Street Journal published that the bullets had trans writing on them and whatnot, all the Republicans are going nuts. See, we knew it was a trans, this and that.
We
Nancy
knew it was a trans.
Nancy Mace, that's been her issue for the last year and a half is protecting women's bathrooms from
Yeah.
trans. And I don't know why it's annoying to hear, but like she loves to use the word tranny. Everybody always corrects her on it. And then there's that one moment on the House floor where she was like, tranny, tranny, tranny. What are you gonna do? And it's like
Yeah.
you just seem ignorant. I don't know. But let's
Well, it's
hear
not
it.
ignorant, it's just hateful. It's just a hateful thing.
It is just being a dick. Like
Yeah.
so much of what the right does where I'm like, I see what they're doing, but they're just being a dick about it. And that seems to be anyhow. Here's a video real quick of Nancy Mace from the day.
Enough is enough. And now I have to deal with real safety concerns. It sounds like the shooter was a tranny or pro-tranny. And just because I want to protect women, that I'm worried about getting murdered? Are you fucking kidding me? It's out of control, and enough is enough. And I'm going to double down on this. I'm going to be more vigilant than ever. I'm going to be louder than I've ever been until this shit stops. It's got to stop.
She's the Karens of all Karen.
Dude, so
She's just Karen.
she has this great quality where she finds a way to make everything about herself. And like I didn't say this a week or two ago, but when the Epstein victims came into Congress, like they were testifying behind closed doors to the select committee, and like at one point Nancy Mace comes out like crying and walks past all the reporters, and she's like, "No, I can't, and she's crying. And when I saw it, my first reaction was like, "You got to make everything about you." But then several people pointed out she says that she is the survivor of a sexual abuse within the last year or two, like something happened to her. We don't know what, but this is what she says. So I decided not to say anything because I was like, like I don't want to make fun of somebody who's having a real trauma moment. But like today, even she's everything about her is making it about herself. Like she wants the spotlight. She's Nancy Mace was. She was one of the Republicans that I really liked 2 years ago, and now she's worse than Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like it's not even close.
Right. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene's kind of goes center now. So
Yeah. So anyhow, the only other there were so many responses last night and today from Republicans, whether it be like Jesse Waters had some off Trump last night. Trump had an opportunity to be a healer. Like there's a moment that sticks with me real quick. When
well, hold
Brock,
on.
okay, go
Before
ahead.
you bring that up, like let's talk about past presidents and
Okay,
like what past presidents that say in this moment. And
I got
it's always a healing moment, right? And they have writers that come in and they write these speeches for them and they make these heroic speeches. But Trump has notoriously been a divider in these moments.
he's not one to
Every fucking time.
if he sees some kindling laying around, like he's not going to let it go to waste.
Yeah.
Like let's throw a little gasoline on this fire and get it going.
Yeah.
Real quick,
Yeah.
the story I was going to tell was about past presidents. Obama in like 2014-ish, 15, I guess. There was that shooter. I think it was Dylan Roof. I might be mixing up two shooters, but 21-year-old white supremacist that went into a church in I think South Carolina, a black church, and killed 9 people, including the pastor. And there was an elected official who was black in there, like as a state congressman or something like that. And it was
No.
terrible. It was a terrible time. And Obama could have said a lot, and Obama didn't. He brought everybody together. He went and sat through a church service there, then got on stage and was singing Amazing Grace with the choir and trying to like.
Yeah.
And it was one of those
I
moments
remember
where
that.
it's like he could have said a lot of things about white supremacy and this and that, but he didn't. He tried to, and like you compare that to what Trump said last night, and I didn't, I almost pulled the Trump thing, but it's too annoying and I didn't want to. But you'll never guess he's blaming the radical liberal Democrats, and Netanyahu is on Fox
Yeah,
tonight.
and here's the thing is like you don't blame somebody, and I'm seeing this on social media, like they're blaming the entire left. They want to murder all left-leaning people because they think it's all their fault. Like, no, this is one person. And for all we know, it's some mercenary who's doing it because Charlie Kirk has a, and he at first he was, there's two issues that I see that came out recently was he, first of all, he started talking about he was talking about the Epstein files. We want to
Yep,
release the Epstein files. We want to do this. And then apparently Trump gave him a call and he stopped talking about it completely.
yep. It
That's
was
number one.
it was reported on like a Sunday night that Trump was calling all these YouTube right-wing media personalities, telling them to stop. And the very next day, Kirk came on and was like, "Guys, like I've said all I'm going to say. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I'm going to move on." And it was like, "Oh shit!" That clearly,
Yeah.
what we read last night that Trump was calling everybody has worked.
And the people who are really fascinated and really gung ho about the Epstein files are lunatic right wings, right?
Mm.
They're the ones that are
Nah, well,
blaming.
hold on. The people that for traditionally the people over the last couple of years that have been
Yeah,
into the Epstein files have been the far right conspiracy people. Now
exactly.
the left has suddenly taken a big interest in a year and a half ago. The left didn't give a shit about the Epstein files, and now
Yeah.
because it is harmful to Trump, like they're all about it. I mean, but that's how the game is played. I mean, and the right's
Oh.
getting real mad and being like, "Oh, well, now the left cares." Yeah, no, that now this is an easy point to score on Trump. So.
And the second thing is he's been talking mad shit about Israel.
We're getting to that. I sent you all
And
that
we're
yesterday. Did you read all the stuff I sent you?
I read some of it. Yeah. Yeah, I read
Okay.
all of it, but yeah.
So hold off on that point for another minute, though. I'm about to get to my blue and on conspiracy.
Oh, we got a blue one on it. Okay.
Yeah. So the only other thing I wanted to say, as I was saying, the right had some hysterical takes. I started thinking like, should I pull Jesse Waters or Alex Jones? They're all calling for civil war. People we went to high school with on Facebook are calling for basically the murder of all Democrats. It's pretty interesting time.
It's wild.
As I was scrolling like Facebook, like you scroll Twitter and you see terrible shit, but you don't know those people and their shit posters. But you scroll Facebook and you see stuff like that, and it's like I know these people. Like I went to high school with these people. Like this is
Yeah,
bad.
man. Yeah, and it's like, okay, so I was scrolling and like somebody was like, one of the ones I saw was like, if you're a Democrat and you're my friend, please just unfollow me. And then I saw another guy who was like, I had so many friends who are Democrats and they're just like flaming the fires of this at this point, and like I unfollowed all of them, and I'm like looking around, I'm scrolling, I don't see anybody like
The thing
making
is,
fun, talking shit, doing anything about.
on Twitter, there are some people, and it's a small majority, but there are some people.
Yeah,
But then what's happening is those are getting screenshot and reposted in certain, whether it's a Facebook group or whatever, they're getting sent around in direct messages. But like they're seeing a lot of it. And compared to all the things happening on Twitter, it's a very small area, but it's getting magnified hardcore so that it is out there. And that's what they're
only in
seeing.
that certain group of people
Yeah.
though, because I'm not seeing any of it.
What I'd like to see, what I'd like to say is like, do you know any Democrats that are doing this? Like, is it somebody you know, or is it because even tonight during the press conference, the head of the I don't know what he's, I think it was the governor of Utah. He was saying that there's a lot of misinformation right now. The DOJ has said there's a lot of bots from China and Russia, and some of them are saying Civil War, get the Democrats, and others are like celebrating Charlie Kirk. So like they're trying to foreign countries are trying to use this to pit us against each other and get the civil war going, and it's not shocking. We should
Oh,
all know that that's happening. Um,
yeah.
the one other guy, real quick, Clay Higgins. Clay Higgins is quickly becoming a congressman that I enjoy to laugh at. Um, he tweeted back to back. The first tweet was all I should have pulled the first tweet, but it was like Charlie Kirk was the died defending free speech, and it was a long tweet, and it was all about how Charlie Kirk free speech, like that was the theme of it. The very next tweet he puts out is this.
Representative Clay Higgins. Who's he? Where's he from?
I think he's from Texas. You start reading, and I'll Google that.
Clay Higgins from Texas. I'm going to use congressional authority and every influence with big tech platforms to mandate immediate ban for life of every post or commenter that battled the assassination of Charlie Kirk. If they ran their mouth with their smart ass hatred celebrating the hilarious, oh, heinous, I'm totally botching this,
Heinous.
an heinous murder of that beautiful young man, Jesus, who dedicated his life to delivering respectful conservative truth into the hearts of liberals, enclave universities, armed only with a Bible and a microphone and a constitution. Those profiles must come down.
And down below, he basically is saying he wants them banned from all platforms forever. So free speech.
Hold
Charlie
on, let me
Kirk.
finish reading this.
Okay,
So
go
I'm
ahead.
going to lean forward in this fight, demanding that big tech have zero tolerance for violent political hate content, the users to be banned from all platforms forever. I'm also going after their business licenses and permitting their business will be blacklisted aggressively. They should be kicked from every school and their driver's license should be revoked. I'm basically going to cancel with extreme prejudice these evil, sick animals who celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination. I'm starting that today. So,
So he's saying all the people that are online
free
not
speech.
not being sad. Like, I don't know where do you draw the line? Like, is it people that are celebrating? Is it people that don't give the proper amount of respect to Charlie? Like, I don't like all the people that are online being fucking shitty right now. I don't like them at all. But
No.
like, are we talking First Amendment or are we not talking First
It's
Amendment?
still First Amendment. It's still free speech. And the right has been preaching free speech for a long time. This is where the right is so wrong, is that every chance they get, they go against what they believe.
So there's
Every opportunity they get, they go against what they believe.
you can point out hypocrisy on both sides. We can clearly say that. But
Yeah, but the
in this
right is
case,
110% more hypocritic than the left.
let me offer some examples here. George Floyd. I'm not a George Floyd fan, but people on the left did not like the fact that he was killed by a cop kneeling on his neck.
Did you say you're not a George Floyd fan?
I don't necessarily. I didn't really get involved in the Black Lives Matter. I watched it. I watched it with popcorn, but I was not out protesting. Anyhow, their favorite thing to do right now is like just recently it was the 5 year anniversary of all that, and they put out pictures of the officer kneeling on his neck, and it says George Floyd 5 years sober today because he has been dead for 5 years, and like they think
Who's
that's
putting that
hysterical.
out?
This is just people on the right. Don
Oh, on
Jr.
the right.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don Jr. and several other right wing people had a blast with the whole Paul Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's husband, getting the break in where they got cracked him in the head with a hammer. Like, could have killed him. And like, they made fun of that forever. Don Jr. put a post up where it was like a picture of a underwear and a hammer. And he was like, I have my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Like, they,
Political violence, when political violence happens to the left from the right, they celebrate. When it happens from, and we don't even know if it's from the left because I don't think it's from the left. I'm giving it a 75% chance that it's not from the left.
I would reverse it. I would say 75% it is. We don't have to agree on this, but I would
Yeah,
say
we
there's a
disagree.
25% chance. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that all back. I'm gonna say it's about a 25% chance that it is a just hardcore lefty blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
75% chance that it's going to be someone who doesn't fit into either box. The two people that both shot at Trump, like the right immediately was like, it was a lefty. And then it's like, no, the kid was a former Republican that was a loner and this and that.
Hmm.
The guy that had the gun on the golf course was crazy. He was a pro-Ukraine Republican. Like he hated Trump because Trump wasn't pro-Ukraine. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
so the odds that he's going to neatly fit into a Democrat or Republican box are not good. I would say
I
75%
would
chance.
bet he fits into a Republican box more than he fits to a Democrat box. And you
No.
don't want to talk about this yet. I don't know where you're going to bring this in, but um, I'm guessing this guy is sitting in Tel Aviv right now.
Yeah, well, that's a great time to get into this. Okay, I've been excited to tell you my blue anon conspiracy. I do want to throw you a bone before we go down this road. I have one picture for you to look at here real quick.
Extreme bling deaths from 2013 to 2022. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay, in
so
last episode I told you that like recently it feels like it is coming from the left more. Over a 10-year period, it's definitely coming from right-wing extremists more. Um, This is from the ADL, which I will say I was reading a lot on this today, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, the ADL is a Democrat institution. It's the Anti-Defamation League." I don't think
far.
I gotta believe this is based off real like crime statistics, but
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I'm gonna say I trust this. But yeah, it's over the past over that period, 2013 to 2022, and then somebody asked in the comments of one of these, somebody asked Grok basically if this was true, and where's Grok's answer? The ADL reports that from 2014 to 2024, 17% of U.S. extremist related murders were by right wing extremists, 18% by Islamists, blah blah blah, and then there was a follow up, and it basically they asked Grok if the ADL was a left leaning institution, and then it went on to prove like to show like no, they're pretty factual. Here's where they get their numbers. It's all sourced here. So they were trying to disprove it. So that's my bone. I'm going to throw you. Yes, you were correct on that. The
Yeah.
majority
Well,
of
I wasn't correct. We were discussing it, and I was like, I think it's more right-wing extremists. And then I looked it up in the show, and it said like the killings were 75% from the
so, but
right-wing extremists
but the
versus.
problem is a lot of times it's something we don't hear about nationally. It's a mayor or a city councilman or a this or that or like
Well, and here's the thing: is like remember the what was it, the Minnesota congresswoman?
so.
Her husband and dog, her husband and dog got shot, killed by a right-wing extremist.
Yeah.
And like it was in the news for like half a day.
So
I mean,
that lady's name is Melissa Hortman. That was in the
Hortman.
news for a solid day, but then the No Kings protests were like that same day or the next day. So that kind of took some of the wind. But I mean, a husband and wife were killed there, plus another state congressman was shot. That guy was a MAGA Trump guy. Before that, just a month before that, a pro-Trump guy he set the Pennsylvania governor Josh Shapiro set his house on fire while him and his family were inside asleep. They got out, but that would be definitely something. The Paul Pelosi stuff. Uh, there was a guy in New Mexico, and this was like a year ago. There was a Republican pro-Trump guy running for like local office, and he ended up he shot four Democratic lawmakers. I think none of them died, but he like went house to house and shot them all. He's in jail for 80 years.
Was that
Third,
the one that went to the The judges' houses?
No, so that's Judge Esther. What is her name? Oh, I had it somewhere here. Esther Salas in New York. They went to her house. They ended up killing her son because I guess he answered
Jesus.
the door. She was a Obama appointed judge. There were 13 men convicted in a plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer in 2020. And then I forgot all about this guy, but the MAGA pipe bomber back in 2018, they found him in his van that had like pictures and bumper stickers all over it. And like we all made the joke. We were like, well, that guy's fucking crazy. But he had
Yeah,
sent pipe bombs to a couple different CNN anchors and a couple Democrats, Hillary and who not.
right.
Um, so it, but there were two shots at the president, and I feel like in a lot of people's minds that trumps all those other little ones because they took a shot at the main guy.
Well,
The
the
right,
two people that took shots at the president. Well, there wasn't two shots at the president.
okay, yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on.
you're right, you're right, you're right.
The second guy was a lunatic and got caught like creeping around the woods. I don't even know if he had a gun on him. Did he have a gun on
Well,
him?
he had a gun and he was in the woods. And what happens when Trump plays golf, there's a team of like Secret Service that stays one hole. They go a hole
Uh-huh.
ahead and clear. And when they were clearing the next hole, they found him in the bushes. So you could make the argument that if the Secret Service hadn't found him somewhere on the next hole, he would have gotten a shot off at Trump. Who knows if he would have hit him or not? But
That guy was a lunatic. Like
that guy's crazy.
whatever it was, he was crazy lunatic.
Yeah.
The other one, who knows? The kid was kind of crazy. He was a registered Republican. His parents were Republicans, and he had just been going to the gun range a lot. I don't know. And
He,
he had like not only did he have Trump, but he had Obama.
yeah,
He had like a list, and like it was both Republican and Democrats on this list
I
of
think
people.
the FBI ended up saying that he basically wanted to kill either Biden. I think it was Biden at the time. It was Biden or Trump, and he just looked to see which one of them was coming closest to his city, and that's how he picked. Well, that's what that was in one of the FBI releases.
So he just kind of wanted to be famous, and nobody knows his name, which is great.
I know his name. I don't want to say it, but yeah,
Yeah,
his name is out there.
I don't
So
know.
yeah,
I don't even want to know it.
anyhow, but yeah, both of those two were not, they weren't your typical liberal, is all I'm going to say. And so when everybody right now is like, it was definitely a leftist extremist, it's like, I'll bet he's going to be crazy and he's going to have what's going to happen is he's going to be like, oh, well, he believes this and this, so he's on the left. But it's going to be like, oh, but he's also pro Putin. And, it'll be something crazy. And it's
Yeah.
like, whoa, like that doesn't go together.
No, my theory is different than that, I think.
So here's my new theory. Let's get to this. Several people online were saying this yesterday, and at first I kind of thought it was a joke. Like I really didn't think much of it, and then I just kept seeing it. It wouldn't go away. Here's what I'm gonna say: if the FBI doesn't catch the shooter alive, they need to take him alive and they need to get him on a stand. Because if somebody's shot like in a battle with the cops and it's like, oh, we got a dead body over here, this is the guy that did it, or if they never catch him, there is a primed conspiracy ready to go, and it is that Israel is behind this. And I would say this, not Israel, because Israel will keep their hands clean, but like we have all these Jewish mega donors. I don't want to say their names, but people that give $100 million to Donald Trump and also
Edelson.
yeah, they own sports teams.
Marion Edelson. Marion Edelson.
I think we get sued for that, so I wouldn't even do that. I'm trying to, yeah. Anyhow, it could easily be financed in a way where it's not directly linked. But I'm the guy that normally laughs at these dumb
It
conspiracy
could be
theories.
somebody like Marion Edelson.
A person like that. Anyhow,
Don't trade Luca.
you're still
Stop
bitter
being a
about that.
dick.
Yeah.
Don't destroy the Mavs.
First of all, if you're one of the people that thinks that this was professional, like this was a hit team, there was an airplane waiting for him to fly him out, like that's money involved, like that screams foreign intelligence. And also Netanyahu was on Fox tonight and he said flat out like, oh, these baseless internet rumors, like Israel obviously had nothing to do with killing him. And then he said it's the extreme Islamists and the extreme progressives that have teamed up and are a threat to all of us. So radical Islam and leftists are now one that Israel and America have to fight is kind of the way he was. But anyway, the fact that he even had to address that it was a rumor going around is amazing to me. But if we're talking hit team, which we
Why
might
is
not
he
be,
going on Fox News? Why is the
dude,
leader of Israel going on Fox News?
he tweeted that Kirk died before Trump did, like a minute before. Like him and Trump basically tweeted it simultaneously, but his was out first. And then
Dude.
he's tweeted about Charlie Kirk all day yesterday and all day today, and then he was going on Newsmax and Fox News and everything he could do to talk about Charlie Kirk. Like thou, the whole Shakespeare, like thou doth protest too much. Like, like dude, like you are really anyhow. So that kind of
I
has me
actually
going.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and also
Yeah.
from an Israel perspective, this is what people are claiming. I'm not saying I believe this, but from an Israel perspective, it's kind of a two birds, one stone thing. Okay. Um, A, you take out because Charlie Kirk over the past 6 weeks had been kind of saying a lot about Israel. He was asking a lot of questions. His last radio show, he had Ben Shapiro on, and he asked Ben Shapiro, like point blank, like, why is the media lying for Israel? And Ben Shapiro's face was like, what? Like, you could see the moment where he was like, anyhow. He went on Megyn Kelly's show 3 weeks ago, and he said that, like, he said that newspapers in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv are writing articles about him, like "What Happened to Charlie" is the title because they're all mad he's turned on them. And then also he's getting text messages from like people in the Israeli government and people in the American government that are telling him like, "Hey, stop it with the Israel stuff." He also said during that Megyn Kelly interview that he's more afraid of Israel taking him out than the left taking him out, which is to me like that was the first moment where I was like, "Hold on, is there any truth to
Where
this?"
was that at?
On he was on with Megyn Kelly. You can find it on Twitter or Facebook.
Okay.
But he went on her show, and that was like 3 weeks ago. Um, a lot of this is because at one of his TP USA events, he had Dave Smith on. Dave Smith is the guy that's always on Rogan, and he's very pro-Palestine. I think he's Jewish, and he's very pro-Palestine. But he had him
Well,
on, and that guy. Remember, we played those clips from that, but he basically told the crowd like Trump is in the Epstein files. He's covering it up. He's helping Israel, who's doing a genocide.
well,
Like,
it's obvious. It's obvious.
well, apparently the White House and Israel got like pissed at Charlie Kirk for even platforming him. Like they always talk about the left is not platforming people. Like they can't believe that he let Dave Smith speak at a TP USA event, and
Hmm.
that's where a lot of this is stemming from. That happened about a month and a half ago, a month ago maybe. So
Okay. Okay.
anyhow, um, it's one of those where it's like if they don't catch the guy, if this becomes a JFK type thing, I'm just telling you, the Israel did it is gonna spread. Like it's gonna be talked about forever. So they need, and also if they kill a patsy, if suddenly they have a
Well,
dead body
hold on, hold
tomorrow,
on, hold on, hold on. I want to fight back on that a little
okay,
bit. The Israel, the Israel did it thing is going to spread within 75% of the community, but the 25%, which is actually the loudest percent of the community, is it was a left-wing Democrat.
I think you have 100% backward. The
Huh?
mainstream media, Jesse Waters, Megyn Kelly, Ben Shapiro, like that group is the group that is like, no, this was the left. It was a left wing lunatic, blah blah
Yeah,
blah. The crazies, I'm talking the crazies that are on YouTube, Nick Fuentes, and the crazies are the ones that are saying it was Israel, like the ones that you have to worry about that
that's
might
what I'm
do
saying.
something.
25% saying Israel, 75% saying that it
Okay,
was
I got
a
what you're saying
crazy
now.
Democrat.
Yeah, I got what
Yeah.
you're saying now. So yeah, but it's the
Yeah, which
like
sucks, which is crazy, which sucks for us because being talking against Trump and being on the left side of things means that we're a target for more of this.
you want to hear something depressing about as far as like his control of the media. So I just saw stories about this today, but Skydance Media. Skydance Media is Trump's donor with Larry Ellison maybe, who owns that, and he's very pro-Israel. They just bought CBS and Paramount, and that's why like I don't know if you know this whole thing, but that's remember that they fired Colbert, but they're buying Bari Weiss. Bari Weiss is a former New York Times
She's
journalist.
right
That's
wing. She's always
she
been right wing.
she started her thing, the Free Press, and it's just pro-Israel. Like it's they're denying that anything bad is happening in Gaza. Anyhow, so Skydance Media bought CBS Paramount, and now they're buying the Free Press, and they're going to have Bari Weiss come over and take over like the news wing of CBS. So CBS News is about to be the Free Press, basically. To make things worse, that all happened in the last couple of weeks. They are putting together an offer right now to buy Time Warner. I can't remember the exact name of the, but it'd be HBO and CNN and then a couple other channels.
Well,
So
seems like a monopoly.
normally, and Elizabeth Warren was saying this today, but this under any other administration, this would not go through. It'd be too big.
It's a monopoly.
But Trump gets to pick if it goes through or not. So anyhow, so CNN could become Fox News Light, and like HBO has a couple political shows. They have Last Week with John Oliver, which is really good, and they have Bill Maher. And you wonder what's going to happen to those shows once Trump's one of his biggest donors is buying all this. Yeah. So at that point, you'll have NBC and ABC left, and MSNBC. That's and Lord knows how long till they buy all them.
Dude,
So
this world is fucking crazy.
it's really weird.
The world's gone nuts, dude.
Also on Israel, back to that real quick. The last point I have on that, it'd be 2 points. It'd be a great two birds, one stone. One, they silence a guy who's been talking a lot of smack and asking a lot of uncomfortable questions, so you silence him. But then also, the calculation would be that this will help the right. It'll energize the right. Like it's looking like they're going to lose the midterms right now. But when Trump got shot at, like his numbers rose, and like this could get the energy back on the right. And if the Republicans keep the House and the Senate and Trump, and he's not going to get impeached, the money keeps flowing to Israel, and they keep getting free reign to do whatever they want. Because if the Democrats retake the Senate or the House, say I'm probably not going to retake the Senate, but if they retake the House, they can control how much money is going to Israel for offensive weapons or defensive weapons, any weapons at all. So for them, this is
it's not going to change because they're all being paid by Israel to give them all the money they want.
we'll see. I don't
Like,
know.
here's the thing: is Israel, what is it? They pay like, let's just say they pay $500,000 per congressman per
Oh, it's much
House
less than
member.
that. It's much less than that.
Let's just say it's $500,000.
Okay.
And there's 50 of them.
I
So
think it's
they're
more
paying-
like I think it's more like 10,000 for most of them. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm just giving an example. Let's say they're paying $25 million and they own the entire house.
Yeah.
They're getting billions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And free reign. We're giving them weapons and money, and also saying, do what you got to do. So
Yeah, it's
anyhow,
insane. It's crazy.
I'm just saying for them it's too good. And then also the thing I said earlier, Israel has been accused, and I don't think it'd be a war crime, but they've been accused of like aiming for the neck, especially with children in Gaza. Like that's because like it's hard to plug up the neck, and that's something they've been accused of for the last year or two. And then this was a neck shot. I'm just saying, and it could be that he was aiming for the head.
No, that was a jugular shot for sure.
Yeah,
It was like a perfect jugular shot,
yeah.
which yeah, not a lot of militaries are training for that, huh?
No, but and to back up to the very beginning, like it's still like this, it sucks that he was shot and killed. Like I don't want him shot and killed. I know we've laughed and joked a little bit because there's some clowns running the FBI, but like this sucks, and I hope that they find the killer. Like I really do.
No political violence is worth it. Like, use your goddamn words, you fucks. And like,
Oh yeah, no. As far okay, I didn't know what you're saying there, but yeah,
I
no,
mean,
like
well, and this is if it's a left wing. Let's just say it's a left or a right wing lunatic doing the killing. Like, use your goddamn words.
yeah.
Let's have conversations. And that's, I'll commend Charlie Kirk because that's what he was doing, was he was going out there and using his words and talking to people and having conversations. And that's what we need to be doing. And instead, somebody fucking shot him in the neck.
And what's interesting is I don't think a lot of the left realizes how effective he was. Like he was out there converting young white men on college campuses to Republican, and like they were showing up to vote. Like his I'm gonna get the youth, like the 18 to 22 year olds. Like when he first started doing this, it was like, yeah, that's a joke. You can't get them to vote Republican or vote at all. And like he's got a machine now where like young white males on college campuses are showing up to vote Republican.
Yeah.
So
And while I disagree with almost everything he says,
Mm.
I think he definitely had a big impact on getting people out to vote, which I think is a great thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
But-
man. I mean, we don't kill people. And honestly, I think this is bigger than just some lunatic. I mean, this was a professionally done job.
I don't want to say like it seems professional, but also like
It does.
I'd say skilled, highly somebody put a lot of thought and planning into this is what I'd say.
Yeah.
They might catch the kid tomorrow before I can post this. Like maybe that picture is gonna maybe he lives right down the street and he's posting shit all day about how he hates Charlie Kirk leading up to this. The fact that picture's been
Well,
out for
and if that does happen, I'm not going to believe it.
like I said,
Not with this FBI.
they have to
Not with
take him alive.
not with
We
fucking big balls in charge.
we have to hear from the shooter for me to buy it. Like we have to take him alive, and I need to hear him talk about whatever. Um, but if, like I
Yeah.
said, if they find a body tomorrow after a gunfight, like yep, he didn't surrender and we had to kill him. Like you got a Patsy, you got an Oswald. Like
Yeah.
we'll see.
That's what this is.
So, um, I only have one other thing for tonight. Do you have anything else you want to say about Charlie Kirk?
Rest in peace. I don't know.
Yeah, no, well said. The only other thing I want to cover tonight, I know you got a flight in the morning, so be quick. Um, Trump was at a 9/11 anniversary memorial today. Did you see any of the video
24
from
years?
this?
It's been 24 years, dude. That makes me feel fucking old.
Yeah, which I always look back at us right after 9/11. I don't know if it was you, but for me, I was in like a we got to kill all the Muslims. Like I was being
Dude, I almost joined the military.
dude, yeah, it was like and I look back and I'm like, oh, I was an idiot. Like what? And but like I think a lot of us in America were like, is Islam attacked us and we got to destroy Islam now? And it's like, no, that wasn't. But anyhow,
I think before 9/11, like most Americans were under the impression that like America was the good guys around the world, and we were like, yeah, like go America, we're the best country in the world, and maybe we were the best country in the world, and we're the good guys, but we didn't really see the past. And then after 9/11, we were like, oh, this is kind of weird.
so
Like everything's kind of weird. Why are we 20 years later? Why are we still in Afghanistan?
the first indication was Vietnam for a lot of like
Yeah.
people of our parents' generation because people were coming back and having breakdowns and stories of like we burned villages with women and children and like all that some terrible stuff and that was where people first started realizing like oh shit like that's not good. And
Yeah.
then after 9/11 we had like 2 years where we were like yeah and like about the time Trump was like and now we're going into or not Trump sorry George W. But W was like, and now we're going to go into Iraq. And that's when people were like, hold on, wait, Iraq? Like Afghanistan, they attacked us. That's what we're doing. And then that was where I feel like since that moment
Yeah.
where he said we're going to Iraq and the yellow cake uranium and this and that, and then it turned out there were no weapons of mass destruction, like that was a quick acceleration at that point to people like not really trusting what America's doing around the world
Yeah. Yeah.
with good reason. I mean,
Very good reason.
yeah,
I mean,
so
yeah. I mean, I'm so confused by what we're doing in this world.
yeah, it
And
don't
then,
make
and then
sense.
and now, like even now, it's like, oh, Israel's doing a genocide, and our president is gonna build a golf course on the land that they take.
Yeah. By the way, they apparently, and they're saying took hostage, took prisoner. I don't know what the right word is, but they took 1,000 people out of a city in Gaza. They're doing the ground invasion right now, and there was video of them marching like lines of people out of this city with their hands up, and they're gonna put them in a prison. So I don't know where they're gonna put them. We'll find out. Yeah, they basically got them all out. Anyhow, let's talk Trump real quick because this might bring some humor to your night. Trump's face today at this 9/11 thing was not even funny. It was worrying. Have you ever seen anybody that's had Bell's palsy before?
Yeah, half their faces kind of droop down.
Check out this video from today real quick.
Oh God.
Lieutenant Colonel Kip P. Taylor, United States Army. Leonard E. Taylor. Sandra.
What are your thoughts? How do you look?
Holy fuck.
Right?
No, that's a stroke. That's stroke, dude. That's
So,
a stroke or Bell's palsy. It could be Bell's palsy. Oh my gosh. Yes.
yeah.
That is 100%. If you walked up upon that guy, you'd be like, "You're having a stroke, sir."
Well, and I
And
wanted to play the video because you could, like, if I just showed you the picture, you would say, oh, well, they caught him in a weird moment where he was moving his chin or something. But, like, no,
No.
he was sitting there like that
No.
and I kept looking at that.
No,
So
we could go through every moment from Trump on TV for the last 20 years, and there's never his mouth is never like that.
I don't think I could make like I was trying to think like if I position I
No,
was trying to move my jaw around and see if I could make my face do that. I don't know how you can. And
no,
like I
you
said, I
can't.
wanted to play the video so you could see that this wasn't just a, you can catch anybody in a weird moment where their face looks weird, but he was sitting there like that.
Who's talking about this? Is anybody talking about this?
Everybody's talking about Charlie Kirk. Like this is on Twitter a little bit, but like
This is bad. And did you see Melania? Like she didn't move. She didn't.
she breathed a little bit. You like
She just stood straight forward.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
So
Holy mackerel, man. It's either a stroke or Bell's palsy, but like, I think Bell's palsy kind of, I mean, I guess it could happen at any point in your life, but I think it happens more in your like 30s and 40s.
when I
But that's stroke face.
I'm not
Like,
I'm not a doctor, but like you know how with old people and dogs, and with any creature probably, like at the end it goes kind of quick. Like they were doing just fine, and all of a sudden it kind of accelerates at the end. Like I wonder if that's what we're looking at because he in the debate, say a year ago, like he seemed still. I mean, he's old, but he seemed pretty with it. Trump was still moving and like recently between the ankles, the hand, he disappeared for 6 days at one point. I don't know. There's a lot of things, and the video they put out of him last night, I didn't want to play it on the show, but like it kept like glitching a little bit, and people were speculating it was an AI Trump. I don't know if it was or not, but like it was weird. It kept glitching, which made me think that they were doing a lot of edits. Like he was getting out a sentence or two at a time, and then they'd cut something out. I don't know. It was very odd.
hold on.
So
I'm looking at this thing again. Like, he really looks out of it. He's so out of it right now. I'm watching
yeah,
the video again. He's
he looks
so out
drugged
of
up.
it. And he definitely has the facial droop, that's the sign of stroke. Like
Yeah.
your half your face droops.
Or Bell's palsy. My stepdad got Bell's palsy like 20 years ago, and I don't. Maybe that is a kind of a stroke. I don't know, but like, yeah, his face was like that for like 6 or 8 weeks, and then it slowly got
Yeah.
better.
Right.
But I think I saw Trump talking after this, and he was talking to the media, and it seemed to be going okay. I think.
Oh,
I'm not.
really?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
so.
So he was talking after that?
I think so. Let me check real quick.
Um,
Hey, yeah, real quick. So this was before. Okay, I don't know if this was before or after.
Really concerned for our country. We have a great country. We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics, and we're going to get that problem solved. I'm only concerned for the country. Yeah.
oh,
But
so this is where he's
blaming the left.
flaming
Yeah.
the lunatic left.
But his
Claims of
his
drugs.
face looked normal there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is there, I don't know anything about this. Like, is it possible that is it possible that like when he's thinking about it, he can kind of like use the face muscles and like make it look right, but then when he gets tired and lazy, it droops?
No.
Then how do you explain those two? Is one of them
Because it's like a nerve thing where the nerves in your face, I think nerves, it's either the nerves or the muscles, but I think it's the nerves causing the muscles to stop holding your face up on that side, right?
yeah.
So that wouldn't make sense at all.
No. It's almost like there's a body double. So like the two are not the same because him at the 9/11 thing seemed out of it and half his face was drooping, and then
Well, that was another theory recently, right? That he had a body double when he came out
well,
and
well, and what are the whole like micro strokes or whatever? Is there a chance he said this leaving the White House, and between here and the event he had like a micro stroke and that's why it looks different? I think this was when he was leaving the White House to go to that event, I believe.
I mean, it could be a micro stroke, and maybe he had one right
I don't
then. I mean, but did you see his like, he was kind of looking around and it just looked like he was
Well, it looked like he
confused.
was bored and tired. If his face wasn't drooping, I would say, oh, he stayed up all night tweeting. Like that's you got to remember he doesn't sleep. He's up at 3 in the morning tweeting shit. So if it wasn't for the face drooping and he just looked out of it, I would say, yeah, it's early and he's bored. They're not talking about him. They're sitting there reading the names of all the people that died on 9/11, and I'm sure it took forever. And he doesn't have his attention span is if he doesn't hear his
It's always
name,
goes
he's
down.
not listening. So But the face drooping is what that's yeah.
Yeah, the face drooping is not normal. And here it is. Strokes cause facial droop by disrupting blood flow to parts of the brain responsible for controlling facial muscle, leading to weakness or paralysis on the affected side of the face. This often manifests as a sudden inability to smile, difficulty raising the eyebrows or closing the eyes, and inflating the nasolabial fold. What is that?
The thing is, I don't think you like immediately bounce back from Bell's palsy or anything like that. Like the face droop, that takes a while. So
Well,
I'm
no.
wondering, was he
And
on?
like if they're saying they're mini strokes, then maybe he's having them and then it's coming back. And
Maybe
maybe
I
he's
don't know.
having them and it's coming back. And it's like a 10-minute thing. Like how long does a mini stroke last?
We are not the people to be having this discussion. I will say.
I
This
mean,
is,
we can have this discussion because we
I'm just
have
saying,
the internet.
don't trust anything we're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
Doctor Andy and Doctor Docs here.
Oh, we're doing the YouTube or we're doing the Google.
Yeah, use
So
AI.
a few minutes to a few hours. A mini stroke lasts for resolving the symptoms resolve within 24 hours. So
What if he was sitting there live on TV having a mini stroke? Like I'm not saying that happened, but that the problem is,
that's the most logical explanation if he was doing that with an inexplainable, like I can't move that down
yeah,
without,
I tried today in the mirror for
there's
a
no way
while.
you can do it.
I did. I for real. I was trying to figure out could he have been making a because when I first saw it, I was like, maybe he was making a face, and like I can't make half of my face droop, and the
No,
lip was turned around, and that's yeah.
you can't make, nobody can make that face,
Well,
unless you're having a stroke
if anybody can do it, it's
or a
Trump.
Bell's palsy. So yeah, I mean, that's the most logical explanation was he was having it and then it went away and he spoke afterwards.
What sucks is, and you were talking about how we can't trust what the FBI is saying right now because of Patel.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with Trump's health? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's not super serious, but like what they've told us is, oh, it's chronic venous insufficiency, and that's very common among people his age. But like, clearly he's got some other shit going on. I mean, they're not telling us something, and it might not be that big a deal. Maybe it's just embarrassing for him. I don't know. But like looking at him recently, there's been a lot of clues where something's not going on right. Is all I'm saying.
When did he go when did he disappear?
Like a week and a half ago.
And that's when it started?
I don't. The face thing just started. That was today.
Right.
Yeah.
But the first thing that we noticed, he disappeared for like 4 or 5 days. And
The
that was
ankles were before that. The ankles was a couple weeks before that. The
yeah, but he
hand
didn't have
bruising.
any like mental cognition or like he didn't disappear for a while. But he disappeared.
Yeah, that was when everybody started wondering, like for real, what's going on with his health?
That was like 10 days ago, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say about that.
So he disappeared for like 5 days.
5 or 6 days he went without being on camera, which is astonishing for him.
And then they came out and they showed him from a real far distance.
And his face did not look good.
And in
Remember he
two
had that.
days,
Remember he had the piece of skin like a fold in his forehead that was hanging down
yeah, I
over his
still
eye.
don't know if that was real.
Okay, I don't either.
Yeah. I mean, the news sounds like it's real, but anyway. Um, so then he came out and he had that press conference, which was like, what was it? We're gonna
I don't remember. He's done a lot recently.
annex. No, because he had that, because it was like, Trump's gonna make a big announcement. We thought it was gonna be Rudy Giuliani getting the thing, but it was
Yeah,
like, it
what
ended up
did he
being
end up
something
saying?
stupider.
I can't remember what he ended up saying there,
Okay.
honestly. Yeah.
Anyway, he looked good there. He looked fine there. He was he was upbeat. He was happy. He was talking. Um, and then we haven't seen him for a couple of days,
It's
and then
kind of
yeah.
we're hitting Biden territory because towards the end, Biden would look terrible at one thing, and you'd be like, "Oh shit, we're screwed." And then the next day he'd show up and he was like, "Hey, blah 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 blah," and it was like, "Oh, Biden's back." Like Biden seems pretty with it right now, and he
Yeah.
had good days and bad days, and like I think we might be hitting that point with Trump where like he's gonna have some bad days, but he's also gonna have some good days. I don't know.
And I think it's different. So far it seems very different.
Still, I don't think it would be funny, but it would be ironic if Biden outlives Trump after all that's gone on, and everybody thought Biden was about to die, a year ago.
No, Biden's diet is better. Um,
Eh,
no, this is Trump. Trump. It seems like Trump is having like
Are
a
you still
very
staring at the picture of him with his face looking like that?
yeah.
I still have it
He's
open too. Yeah,
he's having a very fast like so Biden has taken care of himself like as
yeah.
a old man. He's eating
He
healthy and
he eats right next.
exercise.
Yeah, eat right and
Yeah.
exercise.
Trump has not. He's never exercised. He's never eaten healthy. This is what happens is like you deteriorate faster, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is in every case, but this is in this case. He seemed to be deteriorating very, very rapidly.
Before this last month of his health, like there's those stories of people like, yeah, my grandfather ate bacon every morning and had cigarettes all day, and he lived to 97. You know those stories you hear. Like
Yeah.
some people, and I was like, Trump's gonna live to be 100. Like as I could just feel that coming. But over the last month, my tone has changed on that big time. Where it's like, I'm worried about his health. Like I feel like at any point we could wake up tomorrow and like, oh shit, Trump had an event in his sleep last night. Like, and
Yeah.
again, that will be just as bad, if not worse, as the Charlie Kirk thing going on right now. Like that'll be bad. I'm just telling you, it'll be a bad couple weeks to a month, like for America, if he suddenly doesn't wake up one morning. I know you don't believe
Yeah,
me.
but this is just a man dying of old age, really.
Even if he dies and it was clearly old age and there was no funny business, it still will lead to a lot of emotion and then possible
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I knew that I told you yesterday when this happened with Charlie Kirk, I was like, dude, I was like, a lot of people really liked him. So like we got to be careful. And like I think I even underestimated it because I've seen like people that we went to high school with that are like, I cried all night last night. And like I told,
I didn't realize how loved he was. Like I
dude,
didn't know. So he had 300 employees at Turning Point.
Yeah, TPUSA. They had a
That's a giant business. That's a
they had
lot. That's a big business.
they had a massive operation going. They were doing there was a TPUSA rally like once a month across America. Like they moved around and did them all the different cities and like huge crowds came out. Like he was making an impact. Now, what most lefties don't like about him, we only have 5 minutes left, but real quick, the scariest thing is as much as you didn't like him, there's going to be like, the whole thing. I'm sorry to be long winded, but the whole thing where like we could have killed Hitler or we could have killed Putin, but you always have the fear of who would replace him. It might be somebody worse that would replace him. You ever hear
JD
that talk?
Vance.
Anyhow, you kill Charlie Kirk,
JD Vance.
dude, you kill Charlie Kirk, you're going to end up with a Nick Fuentes. I don't know how much you pay attention to Nick Fuentes. I see his stuff a lot. He's, I think he's a self-proclaimed Nazi, and like
Mhm.
he did a
Yeah.
live stream tonight where he was addressing all. He hasn't done a show since Charlie Kirk died, and he did a live stream tonight, and he had over 200,000 people watching to start, which is bigger than anything most YouTubers do. And throughout the whole episode, he maintained about 160,000 viewers through a stream, which is big numbers for a stream, and he's getting a lot of. I don't know. I think that you get rid of Charlie Kirk, you might not like what you get in his replacement. That's all I'm going to say.
You think so you think that Nick Fuentes has enough following to Oh my God. I'm watching this video again. I'm sorry.
Of Trump,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
I mean,
Nick
it's
Fuentes.
25 seconds of him looking like he's about to like hit the ground.
Well, the other thing with Nick Fuentes, real quick, is he's getting boosted right now by Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, and
Why? He's a
they're
Nazi. He hates everybody that's not white.
tonight. All of them are going, "Oh my God, look at Nick. He's being brave and he's stepping up to fill the role and this and that." Like they're boosting him right now.
No, 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 no.
Yep.
This is where the right's going? That's fucked.
I'm saying this is the law of unintended consequences. Like if you thought getting rid of Charlie was going to be better, like no, you're going to get a Nick Fuentes or a Nick
Nobody
Fuentes
thought
type.
that. Charlie was not even on my mind ever.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm
Get
saying
rid of Charlie. I mean,
whoever the shooter is. If you think getting rid of Charlie is going to solve the issue, like no, somebody's going to fill that void. It'll probably be worse. Anyhow, we got a minute left, man. We got to get out of here. Any final words?
uh, we're all fucked.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Later,
Later,
man.
dude.
Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you.